heists have always fascinated the public, not just because of the sheer audacity behind them, but also because many remain unsolved to this day. These criminal acts have stumped investigators for years, leaving behind mystery, intrigue, and speculation. Here are the top 10 unsolved heists that continue to baffle law enforcement. 1. The Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum Heist, 1990. In one of the most famous art heists of all time, two thieves disguised as police officers entered the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston, where they stole 13 pieces of artwork valued at around $500 million. The stolen works included paintings by Vermeer, Rembrandt, and Degas. Despite numerous leads and investigations, the art has never been recovered, making this heist one of the most enduring mysteries in the art world. 2. The Banko Central Burglary, 2005. In Brazil, thieves pulled off an incredible heist when they tunneled into the Banko Central in Fortaleza, spending months constructing an elaborate underground tunnel. On the day of the robbery, they made off with around $70 million. Despite the fact that the criminals were well organized and planned the heist meticulously, the majority of the thieves were never caught, and much of the stolen money remains unaccounted for. 3. The Great Train Robbery, 1963. In the UK, a gang of 15 robbers orchestrated a daring heist by intercepting a Royal Mail train carrying over £2.6 million, equivalent to about £50 million today. The robbers used inside knowledge to disable the train's security system and escaped with the money. Although several gang members were caught, a large portion of the stolen money was never recovered, and the mastermind behind the crime was never identified. 4. The Antwerp Diamond Heist, 2003. The Antwerp Diamond Centre in Belgium was the site of one of the largest diamond heists in history. Thieves bypassed multiple security systems, including a 10-ton vault door, and made off with an estimated $100 million worth of diamonds, gold, and other jewels. Despite the fact that several members of the criminal group were arrested, the full extent of the heist remains unsolved, with much of the loot still missing. 5. The DB Cooper Hijacking, 1971. In what remains the only unsolved case of air piracy in U.S. history, a man known as DB Cooper hijacked a plane, extorted $200,000 in ransom, and then parachuted out of the aircraft over a remote part of Washington state. He was never seen again, and while several theories exist about his identity and fate, no concrete evidence has ever emerged to solve the case. 6. The Lufthansa Heist, 1978. The Lufthansa Heist is famous for being depicted in the movie Goodfellas. A group of robbers targeted the Lufthansa cargo terminal at John F. Kennedy International Airport and stole $5 million in cash and $1 million in jewelry. Although several individuals were implicated in the heist, most of the stolen money has never been recovered, and the investigation remains cold. 7. The Sydney Siege Heist, 1982. In Sydney, Australia, a group of criminals stormed a private warehouse and stole $7 million worth of cash, gold, and other valuables. What made this heist unique was the amount of time it took for authorities to even realize it had occurred. The thieves used inside knowledge and clever techniques to cover their tracks, and much of the loot remains hidden to this day. 8. The Bank of Italy Heist, 1920. In San Francisco, a group of criminals managed to steal around $2 million, equivalent to $30 million today, from the Bank of Italy. The thieves infiltrated the bank during a major earthquake, which provided the perfect distraction for the robbery. Despite the large-scale investigation, the case was never solved, and the stolen money was never recovered. 9. The Hatton Garden Heist, 2015. In what was called the largest heist in British history, a group of elderly thieves broke into the Hatton Garden Safe Deposit Company in London over the Easter weekend. They drilled into the vault and stole an estimated £14 million worth of jewelry and other valuables. Although a number of the criminals were eventually caught, a significant portion of the loot was never found, and some of the stolen items remain missing. 10. The Pink Panthers Heists, 2000s. A group of thieves known as the Pink Panthers has been responsible for several high-profile heists across Europe and the Middle East. The group, which operates with military precision, has stolen hundreds of millions of dollars worth of diamonds, jewels, and cash. While many of their members have been arrested, they remain one of the most elusive criminal organizations, and much of the loot remains missing. These unsolved heists serve as reminders of the audacity of criminals and the challenges law enforcement faces in solving such complex crimes. Even decades later, the mystery continues to captivate the public's imagination.